Yamamoto just basically picking up, my friend, right where he left off. I mean, this was another tremendous performance. You talked about it, or they talked about it on the broadcast. When Yamamoto's on the hill and he looks across the way and sees a Blue Jays jersey, he's got to feel pretty dang good because he's had incredible numbers against Toronto. Just another tremendous effort from Yama.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he ran out of gas a little bit there towards the end of the game, or the end of his outing, but Yama doing ace things, the things that he does. He keeps you in this ball game, keeps his team in the ball game, keeps the lead that they got early, keeps that protected. And yeah, I mean, this is what an ace does. This is what an ace does. Absolutely. He those out there, you see it on the screen, or it was on the screen. There it is. 6 strikeouts, over 6 innings, 5 hits. I think he had a 1-hitter going through like 4 innings. Like I said before, he started running out of gas there. But yeah, just really good stuff from him. Really good stuff from the bullpen as a whole. The pitching side for the Dodgers as well. And interested in what people are saying here in the chat. We'll try to make today a chat-heavy edition of the show. Nando in the chat says, Blue Jays ain't running it back. They got some issues over there.
Well, I mean, they've had a lot of, Alejandro Kirk is now on the IL. They've had some serious issues too. Cody Ponce obviously is going to be out for the season now, dealing with another injury as well, which sucks to see it because I tell you what, I mean, it took him so long to get to the big leagues back to this point, and he's on the IL for an extended period of time. I think Addison Barger is on the IL as well. So they've had some injuries, some key injuries to some key spots. But you mentioned that he was getting a little tired. I'm talking about Yamamoto. I mean, you're not surprised, though, that he's the first Dodger pitcher to take it into the 7th inning. You know what I mean? I mean, this is his 3rd outing. They're starting to get to the point where it's the 3rd start of the season. Let's get them stretched out. It's okay if you're going to throw 100 pitches. We're kind of to that point, right? I mean, he threw 97 pitches. I want to say, 66 of those or whatever were for strikes. Mm-hmm. That number was just up there. But, he looked really good, and he's such an impressive person to watch. As I'm trying to make sure I have that right there as far as no, just pitches. Yeah, 97, 66 for strikes. So obviously more than half for strikes. But you know what else I wanted to talk to you about, Clint, was just the effort of Alex Vesia getting out of a bases loaded jam. And Alex Renteria 3 said the same exact thing. Alex Vesia getting out of a bases loaded no out jam. Wow. That was just a moment that I love to see for him, obviously, because I'm sure it was emotional pitching against Toronto because he couldn't in the postseason last year.
That's a really good point. Obviously, misses that World Series as him and his wife Kayla are dealing with a tragedy in the family. But yeah, you mentioned Yamamoto. We talk about Yama running out of gas there, and then he leaves. There's runners at the corners, nobody out. Alex Vesia comes in. He walks the first batter and proceeds just to go certified dog mode. It was impressive. It was beautiful. A couple of punchies in there. Was it a couple of punchies? I mean, I could put up a bug that actually has the numbers, but we're not going to do that. We don't need to know the numbers.
He had one strikeout, one walk. So pitched the 1 inning, but he had the one walk, 1 strikeout, and still hasn't given up an earned run yet. Knock on wood. So he still has a 0.00 ERA. Good for him. I love to see it for him.
Impressive outing from him. How about another one from our guy Blake Trinan? For all of the things that I talked about heading into this season of wanting to see something out of him, something out of Tanner Scott to open the season, good, clean, living innings. We're seeing that out of Blake Trinan. This bullpen is kind of proving to be pretty solid. We had some concerns. This is one of the things, we talked about here on the show just before opening day. Katie had noted the bullpen looks like it can have some kind of weak links in the armor. But it has put it together. Everybody's kind of pitching to the back of their baseball card, including Edwin Díaz, who he loves to give himself a little bit of a jam to work out of, but that's what he did. He does that. He does it well. That's how he's made it this far in his career, by what most closers do these days. You get a little bit of runners on, you get some damage, or not damage, you get some ducks in the pond, you find a way to escape it.
Yeah, he makes you a little bit nervous sometimes, kind of sitting at the edge of your seat. But you know what? He's already picked up his 4th save of the season, Clint. The Dodgers are 9-2. He has a 1.80 ERA. I'll take a sub-2 ERA from your closer any day of the week. He picks up another save today, as I mentioned. That's fine. He had a couple of base runners, but no damage given up. The Dodgers get it done. And I love being able to just pass that baton, as you mentioned, from Yamamoto to Vesia to Trinan to Edwin Díaz. The offense certainly did enough in this, 4 runs. We can talk about that here momentarily, but it was a good team effort. Yeah. Another guy I wanted to talk about, and I'm sure you do as well. And again, guys, get your thoughts in the chat. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you need to, what you want to say to us about this. Is, man, Hyeseong Kim looked really good. Yesterday, obviously, he had a nice defensive play. Today, he had a nice defensive play. Both sides of the ball, he performed really well. And I love just the massive smile on that guy's face when he's playing baseball. So what was your takeaway of what you've seen from Kim so far since the call-up of Mookie being on the IL with that oblique issue?
I mean, so far, he's doing what he needs to do. Take advantage of the playing time. Take advantage of the opportunity. The opportunity was gifted to him at this point with Mookie Betts going on the IL with that oblique injury. By the way, really good reports out of Rogers Center. Some people call it Dodgers Center these days, but good reports on Mookie. He's feeling better. He says he feels a lot, light years better. So this is me paraphrasing now. He feels a lot better than he was expecting to feel at this point. But Kim, taking advantage of the opportunity, getting on base, causing a bit of a ruckus with the wheels, and the glove. We knew the glove. We knew the arm was plus. Maybe could be a little wild, a little erratic at times, but that's where you have Freddie Freeman, with the glove on the other side of the diamond from you. He's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch. That basket catch from last night, 2 nights ago, whatever it was, and then running in that speed. You've seen that speed at play there, coming in to make that play and throw a seed over there to Freddie to get that out there in the 4th inning, I believe it was. He's been a lot of fun, and this is one of the reasons people are clamoring for him. He's going to find his way on base hitting 429 right now. Small sample size, couple of games, but again, can't ask for more than what he's doing. Take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, LA Ballin 247 says Kim looking good. Yes, he certainly is. A couple of other guys saying, I'm so sad it's gotten this. Freeland, him rushing. I'm sure he meant Kim on that one as well. This game was the Kim and Freeland game, that from Dirty Don. And we do have a couple of super chats, Clint, that I want to get in here. Of course, we always appreciate you guys supporting the show. ADK 7962, a super chat 199 from him. Yama hell bent on that Cy Young. Yep, he's talking your language now, Clint Pacius. You were saying it last year. But why not? It'd be amazing if Yamamoto was once again in the conversation for that Cy Young Award in the National League. And he certainly is if he continues to pitch the way he has in his first 3 outings. There it is. Yeah, that 30 Don super chat. Appreciate you. Yeah, wait, but remember, Yama isn't an ace. He has to fill out an application, I think. That's what they were saying. But anyway, he is an ace. With one guy. That's right. Again, we kid. Andy McCullough does a tremendous job. And there was a whole conversation around it, but we're going to keep giving him grief for that. But good win for the Los Angeles Dodgers, of course. Good 2 wins for the Los Angeles Dodgers as they have taken the first 2 of the series against Toronto Blue Jays. Much more to come on Dodgers territory, this live edition on this Tuesday evening. But first, a word from our friends at Foul.
With over 35 million downloads, what is the #1 rated ticketing app, Todd Father?
It's simple, man. SeatGeek, as we know, man. They have a lot of things that helps you out along the way. They have green dots meaning good and red dots meaning bad, and it's on a scale of 1 to 10 showing you, Scott, how good the seats are. And sometimes you want to sit in the nosebleeds, or sometimes you want to sit in really good seats. And Scott, you know the code, right?
Yeah, I do. And also, I know that you always like a good deal.
Always.
So SeatGeek helps you out all the time with that. They also help you out with the exclusive FT code, which is Territory10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code TERRITORY10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app, and you can have that code automatically added to your account so that you can use it later. There are regular season MLB games going on right now. There are hot tickets across the country, so make sure you go to SeatGeek. They will take care of you.
Once again, the Dodgers winners 4-1 in Toronto. Going for the series sweep tomorrow. You got Shohei Ohtani on the bump, and Alana, it's funny. You flash back to heading into this road trip, the pulse, the mood of Dodger Nation. Not very happy. Not pretty worried. The Dodgers struggling to put runs on the board, points if I'm being myself. All of a sudden, 49 runs over the last 5 games, 45 of those coming in the previous 4, and a potential, you have the opportunity to sweep the road trip. How big is that for a team? And you've been in plenty of clubhouses. I'm sure they felt like shit getting on that plane to Toronto. Getting on that plane to Washington, and then you're looking at potentially sweeping, going back to LA. What's that feel like?
Well, again, I will always be the voice of reason on the show if I can be, because remember when fans were ready to sell the team, the Dodgers had only one more loss than the teams that had the best record in baseball. Okay, so let's calm down. They are now 9-2, guys. Coming into the series, of course, they did not have that record, but I mean, they did a tremendous job against the Nationals. An opportunity, of course, to sweep the Toronto Blue Jays. And to answer your question, Clint, I think it only means more because of how unbelievable the World Series was last year. I mean, had they not met up with the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series last year, had it not gone to 7 games, had it not been this close to Toronto winning it, I don't think this series would have made that much of a difference. It would have been just another early season series at the very beginning of April, kind of just to see how they matched up to this American League team. But because of how impactful the World Series was and how meaningful it was and how stressful it was, this certainly means more. And Toronto did what LA did in the offseason. They put money back into their product. And they did exactly what they needed to do. And that's why this series was such a huge deal. And it was funny, too, because I was looking this morning all over social media and stuff, and everybody was saying that putting Miguel Rojas on the hill was the ultimate troll job from Dave Roberts to the Toronto Blue Jays. Miguel Rojas is probably public enemy number 1 in Toronto besides Will Smith, too. So, no, of course it means something just because this is the World Series matchup, naturally. But they did exactly what they needed to do. They took care of business. Today's game much closer than yesterday's game, which was an absolute beating. It says a lot if they can, get the sweep, and it shows you that this team is the best team in baseball. And until somebody knocks them off, they will be the best team in baseball.
One of the things I also really like about this road trip is a couple days ago, or the last 2 games really, has been the Dalton rushing show. 4-hit day last night, a couple of dingers, 3 homers in his previous 2 games. And he rides El Bencho today. Alex Freeland, who we talked about on Monday, Katie talked about, he's going to get a lot of playing time with Mookie Betts out. You see it on the screen if you're watching. Freeland drops his first 3-hit game of his career. Looking a little bit better.
He played a really good defensive game today too. I didn't realize he could move as well as he. I haven't seen a ton. We all haven't seen a ton of Alex Freeland. He's not he hasn't been an everyday player for us, but he looked really good defensively as well. So obviously a nice game all the way around for him. As you mentioned, the RBI single there in the top of the 5th. Knocking Gossman out of the game, and Gossman pitched well too. But this is what it's going to take, right? It's going to take a lot of different people playing to the best of their ability when they've been given the opportunities. Those that are not named Freddie Freeman and Will Smith and Max Muncy, that know that they're Teoscar Hernandez, that know that they're going to be there every day. They make the most of it when they're in there.
2 things. I have one more to follow up on Freeland. I got some shit yesterday on my post-game chat on the All Dodgers. By the way, I'll be live at the post-game after this show. If you guys want to go join me, Jeff, and Kevin, check it out, All Dodgers. But people were upset with the narrative that Alex Freeland yesterday didn't have a good game, just purely looking at the offensive line. Yeah, he did not have a good game. However, you mentioned that glove. Not a lot of people know about the glove, the arm, the ability to defend that Alex Freeland has. That was kind of a big calling card, something that followed him from the minor leagues, that glove. He is a very good defender. He is somebody who could play some shortstop, playing a little bit, maybe you could argue a little bit out of position at second base, but you're seeing a shortstop playing second second base, and it looks very good. He's showing range. He's showing the arm. He's showing timing. He could understand the runner in that, a runner coming down and understanding, okay, I don't need to rush this play. I have time. I can hit, Freddie in the chest. He's a lot of fun to watch, Alex Freeland. And hopefully a 3-hit game like this kind of kickstarts the offense, and then we don't have to have the questions anymore, or the conversation anymore. It's like, should this guy be on the roster? The glove should be. We need the bat to keep being there, and he's going to have the opportunity to do it. The second thing I wanted to bring up was, we got to talk about Shohei. He did get kind of hit today. Sports Talk Every Day had mentioned it in the chat. Shohei was pissed when Brandon Valenzuela hit his elbow without saying sorry. We saw it. That was a bit of a weird play. Kind of got, banged on the funny bone.
The kid, this is what, his second game in the big leagues? I mean, can we give the kid a pass for a hot second? Nobody in their right mind, even in their wrong mind, is going to hit Shohei Ohtani on purpose. Like, okay, I mean, Alejandro Kirk is now on the IL with a broken thumb, so he's out for the next, 6 to 8 weeks or whatever. So Valenzuela's behind the plate, threw the ball, obviously accidentally hit Shohei. I think people were freaking out because Shohei was upset. You could tell it probably hurt. My guess is listening to Oral and Joe on the broadcast was it literally and figuratively hit a nerve. And he was obviously in pain. I mean, that was the arm, the elbow that he had surgery on. So, it happens. Like, I certainly don't think Valenzuela did it on purpose. And we don't know if he said he was sorry or not. I mean, maybe it wasn't out. He was probably freaking out, pooping his pants. Like, oh my God, I just hit Shohei Ohtani. You know what I mean? Like, he was probably like, oh dear, I'm done. They're going to play now without a catcher because I'm done. So, that sucks. And I think Dodgers Nation collectively was like, because Shohei was like shaking it off and hurt. But if you look at the replay, like, I was like, okay, yeah, that sucks. But I mean, you'll be all right, dude. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, it definitely not good when it is his throwing arm, his throwing elbow, and all that kind of stuff. The surgically repaired elbow, as you mentioned, but it's Shohei. The guy's an animal, And if we see anything wonky tomorrow, though.
You don't want your prized possession to get hit in any form or fashion. By the way, seltzer, not nearly as good as wine. Just wanted you guys to know that.
Are you okay?
It's disgusting, in fact. I'm trying to drink more seltzer. Ugh. Anyway.
You could do better than seltzer.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Seltzer. How'd you like John Schneider? Come on, push the thing. There we go.
Man, I never have. Did you see how red his face and neck? I mean, and he let him have it. You know what, though? I think this was not just that situation with Gossman and the balk. I think it was all of this, like, it was like about, I mean, he's been like percolating, and it was just the eruption of the volcano that is the 2026 beginning of the season for the Toronto Blue Jays. And you're getting your ass handed to you by the Los Angeles Dodgers, the team that knocked you out of your first World Series title. So this is like when your wife or girlfriend yells at you for leaving your dirty towel on this floor in the bathroom. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the dirty towel on the floor in the bathroom. It's because she's told you 752 times, and it is on the list of all of the other things that irritate the ever-living heck out of her. That was what this was with John Schneider. It was not one incident. It was the culmination of a lot of stress. And he made it, I tell you what, he got his money's worth. He was like, I'm going to tell you. And he was like, and then could you read his lips? He was like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Good stuff.
By the way, the whole time I've just been laughing my ass off behind the scenes because that's pretty good. And I love the towel analogy because we've all been there. Well, not me. I clean up after myself. I'm a good, hardworking boy.
Yeah, well, whatever it is that Mrs. FRG gets mad at you at, it's never the first thing that she says. It's like it's the buildup of all the other garbage that you do or that you don't do.
Like it says in the Bible, chicks, man. You know that chapter. Christine in the chat asking, alcoholic seltzer?
No, I wish. No, it's
not. Throw some vodka in there.
Honest to gosh, it tastes like Alka-Seltzer. Like it's, yeah, I don't. I gotta. Somebody send me a non-alcoholic combo that tastes really good. That's like decent.
Do you like? I got wine.
Yeah, I know. I have plenty of that, but I'm trying not to drink it.
Good observation in the chat from Sheriff Bart. Thank you, Sheriff. Says game seems to be slowing down for Freeland. Same. You could say for Dalton Rushing. Game slowing down a little bit. These are kids that are coming up trying to break in, get some playing time on this roster. That has to be an uphill climb. Yeah.
No doubt. I love that he notices that there's always so many games within the game, right? And if you could just slow it down and watch every single position and just take that one position and magnify it out to see what everybody's role and responsibility is in the middle of the whole picture, it's pretty impressive. Baseball's a beautiful sport.
Yeah. Final thing I think we got before we sign out for the day. Of course, Miguel Rojas was initially in the lineup. We hear he scratched just before game time, and Kirsten Watson comes on the broadcast to say he's tending to a family matter. Obviously, nobody knows anything at this point. Maybe there's been an update at this point. I'm not 100% certain. People in the chat probably would have told us. But regardless of what it is, like we're, thoughts, love to Miggy Rowe and his family if it's something bad. Or positive thoughts if it's something good. Either way, hopefully it's nothing serious for Miguel Rojas and he's able to be in there tomorrow or whatever it may be. But thoughts going to Miggy Rowe.